AI.org.
Okay, wonderful. I'll send an email well, after the call.
Okay, that works. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, waiting for the YouTube to. All right, cool. So we're live. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AI Philly's weekly COVID-19 crisis and response conference call. This is a call that we will be hosting on a weekly basis throughout the duration of this crisis during the period while we are continuing, social distancing. Uh, so what I'd like to do just to start this call every week is just start with AI Phillies, or not AI Phillies, but AI's daily prayer. So all AI members should have access to this prayer. If you don't have it, feel free to reach out by email at victory@aiphilly.org and we can make sure to get you a copy of it. But I'm going to start the meeting off just by starting with our prayer. So, O Amen Ra, Mother who feeds us, Father who protects us, you watch upon the creation, you are the creation. O Amen Ra, your breath is the pulse of the cosmos, your shadow covers the universe, from east to west, from north to south. O Amen Ra, my heart is humble before your majesty. O Amen Ra, protect all of us, we are mortal and fallible. Remove from our path all obstacles and protect from us illness, meanness, greed, and envy. O you noble spirits, you watch upon the creation, you are the creation. We feel your presence in water, fire, earth, and air. We can hear you in the thunder and the ocean's waves. Your brilliance is that of the stars in the midnight sky. Your radiance is that of the sun in the noon sky. O you noble ancestors, you watch upon the creation, you are the creation. Our blood is your blood, our flesh is your flesh. Look after us, we implore you. Some did not wake up this morning, some will not go to bed tonight. Keep us alive, keep us healthy. Protect our children and their children. Protect our wives and husbands. Protect our neighbors and friends. Protect Africa, which needs it so much. Protect us who testify today about your greatness. Protect us, we who keep shrines dedicated to you and your glory. O you noble ancestors, the day is long, the night is long, and the opportunities to betray Ma'at are numerous and constant. Allow our heart to be inundated with Ma'atic thoughts. Allow that from our mouth only comes Ma'at and Ma'at only. Give us the courage and the strength, the integrity, and the determination to fight for a better world, for an Africa that is united, strong, and free, for brothers and sisters who do not feel inferior anymore. Remind us all the time that it is better to die standing up than to live on our knees. O you noble ancestors, like you, we wish through our actions on earth and this life that you gave us to earn eternal life. Keep us on the path of Ma'at. Help us defeat Isfet, so that our children and our children's children call upon our names. Remind us night and day, whether we are asleep or awake, that unity is our aim and victory is our destiny. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, so Hotep family, this is Brother Omawale, one of the co-hosts of the weekly the COVID-19 crisis and response conference call. The purpose of this call is just an opportunity for us to check in with one another as a community, being as though, we are not meeting in person right now because our general membership meetings physically have been suspended. Although we are meeting virtually, this is just an opportunity for us to tap in once a week. If anybody has any health concerns, you could definitely let the community know so that we can be of support to you. If you have any essential resource concerns, such as food or medicine shortages, this is also an opportunity for you to let us know so that we can galvanize our resources to support you. And last but not least, this is, the focus of this call is for us to provide any vital COVID-19 updates to our community. So we've pulled together a crisis response team at the chapter. That team consists of myself. So I focus on programming related to COVID-19. Sister Wahida focuses on communications. Brother Maurice deals with safety. Sister Tahira deals with health, and Sister Kizzy just speaks to things from an environmental perspective. With Sister Kizzy working for the City of Philadelphia Department of Health. She's right there, kind of like on the front lines and very intimately familiar with the information related to COVID. So her update has proven to be very vital for us as an organization. Unfortunately, she is not able to join us this morning. I believe she's having some connectivity issues, but I will be providing the environmental update, just speaking to at a very high level what's happening in Philadelphia, and then I'll mute my line and I'll allow Sister Tahira to unmute, and you can give your part. Oh, so from Philadelphia local perspective, um, as of today, according to the city of Philadelphia.gov, there are a total of 16,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and there have been roughly 726 deaths. As we know, this particular crisis has been disproportionately impacting our community. Many of the folks in our community, our friends and family, are those essential workers who are on the front line and the most exposed to this particular crisis. We know that there's lots of mixed communications coming out from a national um, level, with state government, and then, with all the people who are pushing for, things to be open back up as well. So what we would advise is that during this time of continued confusion, that our people in our community continue to, just adhere to the social distancing guidelines. Make sure that if you are going out, you are limiting, your exposure in the public to, you gathering your essential needs. So if you need to go to the bank or if you need to do any food shopping, definitely do that. But when you're out, continue to practice, social distancing. Definitely, use a mask to protect yourself and others while you are out. So, covering your face while you're out shopping, just doing those common sense things. And keep in mind that our elders in the community, those who are disabled, those who have pre-existing conditions, are the most vulnerable. So we have to continue to stress to our young people that although this particular disease may not be fatal for them, they could potentially bring it back and give it to someone in our community, like their grandmothers or their mothers who may be older, and it could prove to be fatal. So we just want our community just to keep in mind that we are still in the midst of this thing. We don't want to be the crash dummies for society. We don't want to be their test cases, like as they're opening things up and they know that cases are going to skyrocket again. Like we don't want to be amongst that number. So just continue to take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and protect your family throughout the duration of this particular crisis. So with that being said, I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to allow Sister Tata to open up and just give us an update from a health and wellness perspective.
Hotep, thanks, Brother Omawali. I want to start with saying that May is Mental Health Month. So, following up on some of the mental health care tips that I shared last week, I'm going to get into some additional ones today, and we're going to be focusing on the parents. So, just prefacing that again with May being Mental Health Month, the National Alliance on Mental Illness and other organizations are working together with the common goal of building our understanding of mental illness, increasing access to treatment, as well as ensuring those who are struggling with mental illness know that they are not alone. And this month's campaign slogan really is "You are not alone." Now, since this is a definitely challenging times, parents may find themselves struggling to do a lot of balancing acts working with their children, especially when it comes to homeschooling. So, three tips that I do have for parental resilience are taking a break mentally. Sometimes you have to move away from the situation. So, of course, feelings of frustration are normal. They're going to come up in our day to day lives, whether we're interacting with adults sometimes or especially with our children. And just taking a few moments to take a step away from the situation or even creating a special place in your mind where you can kind of just drift off and realize that things aren't as bad as they seem may do wonders of good. Also, you can repeat a phrase or an affirmation to help yourself relax. And you can say something like, "We will get through this," or in the words of Kendrick Lamar, "We gonna be all right." Another tip that can be used to help diffuse any types of situations that are really causing a lot of frustrations, again, with the parenting, is you can start counting. So, of course, this is an old method, but you can count to 10 before you respond to your child. And that's actually something that people recommend on a regular basis, really not saying the first thing that comes into your mind when you're dealing with children, but just taking a few seconds to actually think before you react. And a lot of times you'll find that your first instinct may not even be the one that you choose to go with. So just give a few seconds to take some deep breaths, collect your thoughts, and allow that frustration to decrease. And another tip is to start a parent buddy system. So it's really helpful during this time to work with other parents. We can speak to them on the phone, but really just setting up some kind of buddy system, and parents can call one another to help them manage the stress. And there just are other ways that parents can find themselves support during this particular time if they're feeling frustration. And just a quick self check that parents can do, really just thinking about the situation. So asking themselves, does the problem represent an immediate danger? How do I feel? How will I feel about this problem tomorrow? Is this situation permanent? So again, just some mental activities that can be done to ease some of this parental stress that parents may be feeling right now at this time. That's all I have to share, Sati Sana. Back to you, Omawali.
Thank you so much, Sister Tata. I definitely appreciate that. We gonna be all right from Kendrick Lamar. So, Brother Maurice, you can go ahead and just unmute your mic and proceed with the safety update.
Hotep family, good morning. It's quite interesting how Sister Tata covered mental health among our people. I actually wanted to talk about mental health specifically among a group that is experiencing a lot of violence and a lot of unfortunate, or it's not being reported as much, but a troubled community, and that's the youth. Oftentimes in our community, it's taboo to talk about, mental health and especially suicide, because we have this thing where if we talk about it, we're more vulnerable, or we're just weak, or, we don't, as Black people or as African people, we just don't do that. But unfortunately, our youth among actually the age of 13 and under are twice as likely to commit suicide at 13 and under. So there's a rise in, even suicide and mental health issues among our Black youth. And there's a really some specific reasons as to why these things happen. Basically, it's like acute crisis that may happen during conflicts among peers and parents. And it's specific signs that we need to look for with our youth, especially again during this time, because there's a lot of things that's going on with our youth. They have access to social media, which is it could be a lion's den among youth, and it's something that's projected among our youth and lends them up into violence or thoughts of negative mental issues. And there's some noticeable signs: change in eating habits, sleeping habits, violent behavior, rebellious behavior, withdrawal from friends and family, drastic personality changes, doing worse in school, or even talking about suicide or mental health, even though they may be joking. You still must take those cues seriously. Irritable or annoyed moods, feelings of worthlessness, guilt, fixation on past failures, exaggerated self-blame, self-criticism about themselves, trouble thinking and concentrating, ongoing sense of value or less life looks bleak. Now, all these things I just said, to be honest, are signs that could be typical among teens. But the most important thing that we got to remember with these type of ups and downs in a teenager's life is that teen depression is a serious mental health problem that causes a persistent feeling of sadness. And the key word is persistent. So these signs that I had just given is something that you got to look for and pay attention to throughout the day. Even though the child is home and you may be home with your child, or even if you have to go to work, if you're an essential worker, you still have to check in with your children. I had a conversation some years ago with a child about one of their peers passing away. And it was said to me by that child whether or not their friend went to heaven or hell. It wasn't a matter about, the conversation was where would the child end up as much as how the child got there. So a lot of us really have to pay attention to the cues, or the red flags that we see our young people go throughout the day and throughout their lives. And the question is kind of like, what are the things that we can do? Some things that we can do is we actually just offer help and listen. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore the problem. It's actually them crying out. Tell them that you notice their change in their behavior. Please don't be judgmental, but more concerned about their issues. You don't have to solve the problem or give advice. Just caring and listening is what they want in terms, in regards to understanding. Honestly, if we can't capture and guide our most precious assets, then our efforts are in vain to reaching our ultimate purpose. So please, if you have children out there, nephews, cousins, or just neighbors or friends, please check in every so often with them, because they are their own community. And a lot of times what happens is that we can't determine their levels of consciousness unless we, really get, really, sit beside them and ask and check up on them, because adults and children actually react different to mental illness. That's all I have for today. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Brother Maurice. That was definitely a good update, and a good reminder for us. I think that sometimes as adults, with everything that's going on around us, that we can lose sight that our children are, going through it as well. So making sure that, we are being their protectors, and we are, counseling or consoling them when they need it. So that's definitely a very important update and reminder. So Sister Wahida, you can unmute your mic and just provide your update.
Hotep, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have another guest joining in here. Good morning, Bethy. I'm going to get started with my updates. First of all, let me just go ahead. I just wanted to share my screen, do something a little different this morning. Real quickly. Okay. All right, can everyone see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay.
Yes.
So just want to reiterate, Sister Wahida, I deal with media and information coordination over at AI Philly's chapter. I just want to back up in case if you're new or haven't listened to our calls yet, some basic ways for you to stay connected and in the know regarding the COVID-19. First place is phila.gov website, where you have a breadth of information in there that you can scroll through and read. You can definitely go to phila.gov/COVID-19. If you want to get some authoritative updates, you can text COVID PHL to 888-777, and that'll go straight to your cell phone. There are other places you can call 311 to ask some questions, and definitely you can call to speak to some healthcare professionals. They have a number here, 800-722-7112. in case if you have concerns about symptoms or feel that maybe you have COVID-19 or need to get tested or have questions about that. So that's one major resource. The other one is pa.gov, and there you can definitely go and there's two things. There's the Corona COVID-19 outbreak, which has some very good interactive maps that you can check out, such as county and zip code maps with cases and county data tables and things like that, just for some very data specific numbers if you're interested. And the other thing I wanted to point out was there are the section for resources for Pennsylvania in terms of just like going to access different things that you might need regarding like unemployment and other things that you may need to access from either as an individual or as a business and so forth. Last week, I wanted to show you guys real quick, Sister Kizzy mentioned about the map for Pennsylvania reopening schedule. And as you can see here, so there's areas of red. We're down here, Philadelphia County in the corner. And here, all of the red phase are kind of, they have a certain set of criteria as far as how they'll reopen. So you can check all that information out. And then the yellow phase has a bit lighter and more loose recommendation. And that's up there in the northwest and north central area of Pennsylvania state. So that's another interesting resource that you can get into as well. Continuing on, hold on one second. So I can't access the top of the window. The other thing is I wanted to really get into from a communication standpoint is connecting with some resources that we have in the Black community. And our brother Shanudi shared some information. If you would like to join our Slack public channel, you can definitely do that as well. He reached out to a group, they're called Promitra, and they're based in Senegal. They have a location in Atlanta, and they partnered with Morehouse, the Morehouse University, and they provide some information on how to prevent and treat COVID-19. So I definitely, if you are interested, I will share in our newsletter that we send out. So definitely make sure you're signed up for that if you would like to receive those. It's called Promitra Preventative Solution to COVID-19. So I think if you have any other sources of information that come from, the Black community, we definitely want you, please reach out to me. You can reach me at media@aiphilly.org, and maybe we can start compiling some more of those to share in our, what we have are actually catalogs that we're curating for health and wellness. Sister Tata is helping us with that. And then we also have education for homeschooling, some information from Black resources. So we're compiling that as well. And this is some health and wellness resources that we're working on. So I think it would be great if we had some communication sources from some Black sources. If you haven't been receiving our Mailchimp newsletters, please definitely sign up for that. You can do that at our Facebook page. So you can reach us at AI Philadelphia, AI Afrocentricity International Philadelphia Chapter. And from there, you can click sign up and that'll get, I'm sorry, not sign up. You can click email sign up over on the left here, and you can subscribe to our newsletter that way. The other ways you can connect with us on our Instagram at AI_Philly. We do go live a lot. The head of our organization, Parat, has went live a couple times to share some information just regarding homeschooling and COVID-19. And the last thing I wanted to share, actually, I did want to just reiterate and stress the same points about mental health. Stay communicating with people in your community and your family and friends. You never know what people are going through. Domestic violence is real. And sometimes people, just a call can make a world of a difference for people. And the last thing I did want to share, I think that right now, we haven't been able to properly send off our families and our friends. We haven't been able to travel to funerals, and there really hasn't been communicated to the government any sort of acknowledgement of this fact or nationwide just moment for people who have passed away. So I'd like to take one moment, if we can, one quick minute, just for a moment of silence for all of those who have passed. All right. As you know, our brothers and sisters are definitely disproportionately impacted by this. So I just wanted to take a second as a chapter to do that for them. And that's all I have for today. If you would like to reach out again to me, you can reach me at media@aiphilly.org. Omwale?
Thank you so much, Sister Waida. That was a very, very powerful update. Thank you for all of the additional information that you shared. And I think taking that moment of silence was also therapeutic to reflect. I know that, some of us have had losses that have hit very, very close to home. So I appreciate you for doing that.
No
All
problem.
right. So the next part that we have here on the agenda just deals with the AI Philly and crisis preparedness programming. So one, we have the African Family Fitness and Survival Training Handbook that we are working on developing to give out for free to the community. I believe the first meeting, Wahida, is it this Thursday or this Friday for the fitness handbook? When is the QAP meeting?
That is this Friday. That's correct.
Okay, so yeah, there's a meeting this Friday where we'll be discussing the handbook. So if you'd like to, get in on that discussion or make a contribution to the handbook, definitely reach out to us by email at victory@aiphilly.org to let us know, and we can definitely get you involved in that. Aside from that, AI Philly has its AI Philly Cares initiative, where we are partnering with the North Philadelphia Peace Park to provide produce care packages to the elders in our community. So Brother Maurice, our outreach coordinator, has been heading up that particular initiative. So if you'd like to support by showing up to Peace Park once a month to pick up care packages of fresh produce to deliver to elders in our community, let us know. You can contact Brother Maurice at outreach@aiphilly.org. And last but not least, if you know of any elders in the community that need assistance with shopping for their groceries, please let us know because we'd like to help and support that. If you are an elder yourself, you can definitely reach out to us and let us know. Or if you'd like to volunteer to shop on behalf of an elder in the community, let us know as well. So for the moment, those are the programs and initiatives that we have going on as a chapter that are COVID-19 related. But if you have any ideas for workshops, virtual workshops for the time being that we can do in the future or put on as a chapter, please let us know. But that being stated, I am going to mute my mic and open up the line to the public for any questions, concerns, updates that you all may want to share. Okay. So now is the time. If you have anything to say or share, I'll unmute and you can just introduce yourself, state where you're calling from, and provide your update. Okay, if we don't have any updates at the moment, I am going to ask Sister Wawa if you would just do us the honor of closing us out in prayer, if you don't mind.
That's no problem, brother. But beforehand, we have a question in the chat by Ms. Twyman. She asked, "What is the Slack channel?" I'm sorry, I kind of sped through that part. We have a workspace that we use as AI Philly, and we decided to open up one of our channels for the public where we just kind of share links and articles and different things so people can just get some information day to day, or share some good information that they're getting. And if you would like to be added to that channel, you can contact victory@aiphilly.org. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up after now.
Yeah.
We'd like to, oh, did I hear something, someone talking?
Yeah, I said thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Is there if there are no other questions or comments or concerns on the ground, I will go ahead and wrap us up. I just want to thank the ancestors for joining us this morning, giving us the strength and courage and know-how to be able to pull together in times of crisis to provide some vital information to our community. We want to thank the ancestors we're forever grateful for the work that they've done and the struggles that they have endured before us. We want to continue on and press forward to be a beacon and a vanguard for those in our community and provide services, communication, and anything that we possibly need. We're grateful that we're able to organize ourselves effectively and become more prepared for anything that lies ahead. We're grateful that we are able to lay the groundwork to do the work that we do. We're thankful for those who support us and follow us and continue to be involved and engage with the efforts that we're doing. We'd like to continue to ask for divine protection, guidance, and inspiration. Unity is our aim and victory is our destiny. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you so much.
Ashe.
Wawa.
Ashe.
All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.